your imaginary friend. And what sort of imaginary friend would I be if I had an Alaskan luau, for example, and didn't invite you? So, aloha.
All right, welcome to the party. Let me get you some aloha. I'm going to skip the obvious joke because obvious joke is obvious. And let's find you something to eat, something to drink. As you might expect, we've got a bit of a mix of Hawaii and Alaska here from the theme of Alaskan luau. This is a hurikake party mix. We've got some mixed berries because Alaska is apparently known for its blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, basically anything with berries in the name. And also from Alaska, we have a spicy reindeer sausage, which is apparently a big thing there. My apologies to anybody who has had a childhood. Here we have a traditional Hawaiian dish, but salmon is also really very strongly associated with Alaska, so it kind of mixes the two together. This is lomi lomi salmon. It's mixed with sweet onions and tomatoes, and there's salt with the salmon to preserve it. And I'm given to understand that no luau is complete without Kahlua pork. This is Kahlua pork with cabbage. And we have some Hawaiian sweet rolls as well, and a little bit of tropical fruit juice. So once we get you some of this and get you started, we'll sit down and I can give you a little bit of a spiel on some of my theories on parties. Whew, here we go. All right, we're settled in. I got myself some berries. These are fantastic. We got ourselves something to drink. We got a little time before other people start showing up, so we can sit down and have ourselves a little conversation. I can tell you some of my theories about what makes a party successful. Now, this is going to sound kind of obvious, but really what makes a party is people at the party enjoying themselves. Like I said, that's going to sound obvious, but the thing is, when you're in a group with a bunch of people and they're having a good time, that's infectious. It rubs off on you. You have a good time because other people around you are having a good time. So once you can reach that critical mass, a party becomes self-sustaining and you really have very little to do. Your job as a host is to nudge it up into that point, to get it to where there is a level of energy that thrives. I think a good start is to have a theme, because a theme gives people something to talk about. I tend to go with wacky combinations of themes because, again, that sparks more conversation. People come in the door and they've already got questions about why an Alaskan luau. And they may have some experience themselves. Maybe they lived in Alaska, maybe they've been to a luau. And so they've got something to talk about and something to think about and something to ask other people about. They're probably going to ask you some questions, so it makes good sense to pick something for your theme that you think is interesting, that you enjoy, so that when your first party goers arrive, they can start engaging with you about it. Of course, as the party goes on and there's more and more people, they're going to be engaging more with each other because there's more of them. And another thing that really helps out is music. You're not hearing any music now because copyright is a thing. But again, when your first partygoers show up, if the place is silent, then that encourages silence. If there's already life and energy in the air from music, then they have something again to tie into. If there's already sound in the space, then it's less abrupt for them to start having a conversation to talk about things. And again, the music, if it ties into the theme, can tie back into all of the questions and the thoughts that they might have about this theme that you've put together. So it gives conversation a place to start. And then once you've got a couple of people talking, as more people arrive for the party, they come in and they can get engaged, they can get drawn into this conversation. And as this conversation grows, that's really what a party is a very, very large, sort of intricate, interconnected conversation that's all happening at the same time. Now, I think another thing that really helps with establishing this festive party atmosphere where people can relax and start feeling like they are at a party is cheap, gaudy decorations like this and inflatable monkeys. Because It's kind of a state dependent memory thing. When have you ever gone to somebody's house and there was an inflatable monkey for no reason, or paper streamers dangling from the ceiling? You only see those when you're at a party. And so when you see those, your mind thinks to yourself, I'm at a party. It's time to start partying. And that helps you, again, kick over that inertia, because people come in off the street and they haven't been partying. They need something to ramp them up to that level of energy that a party needs in order to sustain itself. If you come into a room and it's kind of bare walls and it looks like somebody's house, just like an everyday house, and nothing special is going on, maybe there's some food laid out, but that's not too abnormal, and there's no real sound to get engaged in, people come in and they sit down and they wait for other people to show up. And then the next people who show up come in and there's an empty room with nothing going on and a couple bored people sitting there looking like they're waiting for other people to show up. And your party's kind of off to a drag start. So get a theme, get some decorations, get some music, and do something kind of engaging that gives people something to talk about, maybe something that you enjoy and that you like to talk about. And that will give people some place to start. Now, once your party has gotten going, it's a really good idea to have different kinds of spaces. Some of your areas laid out for people to sit and talk. Other places, people might prefer standing. There might be places where people want to be around a bunch of people. Sometimes people at parties kind of need spaces where there's only a few people. So if you have a few rooms to kind of, for people to pick up their own purpose for the room at different times in the party, because people's needs are going to change as the party flows on. So give the party a place to start, kickstart people with something to have conversations about, give it some life and energy before people even show up. And if you enjoy doing all those things yourself, then you bring a certain amount of energy just to the start of the party before anybody else is here. If you enjoy decorating and looking up, learning new recipes, and learning about different cultures and about their music, and you have a good time doing that, then by the time the party happens, you're already having a good time, and other people showing up is just kind of icing on the cake. Oh, speaking of other people showing up, I got somebody coming here who probably can start a conversation with you. I'll be right back.